Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. Today I've got Event, and we're talking about Amazon sponsored brand ads. So, welcome, Evan.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm
Oh,
excited to be here.
excellent. So, I think let's start with your introduction. You know who you are and what you do.
So I'm Evan Fasiger. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for Foremost Media. Foremost Media is a 32-person US-based web development and digital marketing agency. So
Mhm.
we help our customers, not only optimize their website, get found on Google. We also do a lot with paid advertising and
Mhm.
specifically Amazon optimization and Amazon advertising, which is what we're talking about today. So that
Yeah,
works out.
yeah, excellent. So I think it looks like Amazon has taken over the world.
Yeah.
Today we're being very specific to sponsor brand ads. So do you want to highlight, what it is?
Yeah, so sponsored brand ads, they used to be known as headline search ads, and that they're called headline search ads because they only went above the search results. Now you can see them on the bottom, on the side. They're even just released it on the product detail pages too. So now it's just known as sponsored brand ads.
Hmm.
And you do have to be a registered seller or sell through, or sorry, as part of the brand registry or
Yeah.
sell through Vendor Central in order to have access to them. So not everybody is utilizing them, but certainly a great ad to have as part of your arsenal.
Excellent. So, how does it compare with other advertising within Amazon?
It's almost like it's a separate team running it. So if you take a
Hmm.
look at what's available for sponsored brand ads versus just like sponsored product ads, for example, for
Hmm.
sponsored brand ads, you have a lot more control over what that ad's going to look like. Whereas sponsored product ads, you're really just choosing your targeting. So whether it's keywords or, specific categories or even ASIN level targeting. And then
Hmm.
Amazon is just going to show your product detail page. Whereas sponsored brand ads, you're going to be able to choose what that main image looks like. Typically a logo is what a lot of people use, what
Yeah.
that headline says, and then you're choosing 3 product images there. So you have a lot of control over what that ad looks like.
Hmm.
And that allows, a lot of creativity. And, a lot of times with, other ad platforms, including sponsor product or
Yeah.
sorry sponsor brand ads, the creativity is what makes a big difference. So instead of just optimizing for your targeting, you have to
Mm.
optimize for what your creative message is going to be.
Okay. Excellent. So, and the next thing, which is a burning question for everyone, is it expensive compared to others?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's expensive compared to
Okay.
others. The
Yeah.
average cost per click's probably it's comparable considering there's a lot less real estate. So for sponsored product ads, those are directly in the search results on there. So you have more listings for them.
Yeah.
So when you're specifically targeting these sponsored brand ads, and you're also specifically targeting top of search, which is what we usually recommend because they do have a much higher click through rate when it's above the
Yeah.
search results. There's less real estate. There's only one that's going to show per search. So you have to kind of outbid some of the other people in order to show there. So it
Yeah.
can lead to a little bit higher average cost per click, but
Hmm.
it's not, comparative, it's not doubling or anything else. It's pretty close to a lot of the sponsored product ads that we're seeing, because I
Yeah.
think at the same time, while there's less real estate, there's also a lot more competition inside of sponsored product ads. So I think
Abs-
that's where we're kind of having that level
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Then, so for somebody who is starting out and they've already tried, sponsored product ads or keywords ads. Now, at what stage do you think we should start looking out for sponsored brand ads?
I think if you can run them, meaning you've already went through brand registry, you should. And
Hmm.
you don't have to wait for your sponsored product ads to be running for a while.
Yeah.
Although you can, and there's nothing wrong with that,
Hmm.
because a great strategy is to take a look at your top performing keywords on your sponsored product ads and then to
Yeah.
grab those and put those actually the ones that you're targeting in your sponsor brand ads. But if you can run them, there's no reason to wait, especially now that they've improved the optimization on them so much in the past year,
Yeah.
that you can really, do a lot of good things with those ads. Great for top funnel, right? Just overall brand awareness, getting those top funnel searches. So
Yeah.
less I'm looking for a specific product and maybe just browsing and trying to see, what's out there and doing more comparative shopping. It's great for that.
Okay, excellent. So I think with regards to that, putting some strategies in place for the sponsor brand ads, right? So is there any particular steps that somebody needs to go through to make it as successful as they can?
Yeah, definitely. And now it's getting even better than what it's ever been to run these types of ads. Before, we used to have to tell people, don't go after any broad match terms because you don't have any negative terms. You can't make any real changes. You've got to be super specific as to what you're targeting. But now you do have negative terms, right? And now you've even got, the broad match, where you can actually like have it include that versus, just having, around the same term that you're looking for, the synonyms for it that it'll show the ad for. So you've got a lot more optimization. What I do is I do like to take a look at, the campaign history, because now we can also download the search term reports for sponsored brand ads, which is crazy to say that, we can now do things that, you feel like you always should have been able to do. But, that's a lot of Amazon advertising, I would say, is, a lot of getting excited over features that most people would, think that they're just included. So now, we've just got so much more information that we can use and actually target, these terms, whether it's adding negative keywords, making sure we've got the phrase and exact, set up the way that we want to, adjusting the bids to making sure that they're going to be on the top of search, because the above the fold is always going to perform better. That's what's exciting to me. And what I recommend doing, it all depends on where you're at. Just setting them up for the first time. If you haven't run any sponsored product ads, you don't have any keyword data, you have to make some generalizations. You have to kind of say, okay, I think this will work. I think these are good keywords. I know my product well. I know how to do keyword research. So let's go after these, and then just paying attention to the data and, optimizing accordingly for it. One thing I like to do, though, is I like to try to keep them theme specific, because I think there's a, kind of going back to having good, creative can be the difference between a successful campaign or one that isn't, is that I like to keep them theme specific so I can make sure that I have my headline, like the actual copy in there, resonate with the searcher. So I'm making sure that, I'm answering the question of, is this what I want? By, having it be exactly what they search for, what they're looking for, kind of answering that question. So it's going to, entice the click and, help them to actually, pay attention to it more.
Right. Okay. So there's loads of information on there. So so if we are to do some keyword research, which you've started talking already, is there any particular tools do you follow at the moment?
I use kind of a different blend, just because I've noticed that some are going to give me, certain things, and I just like to be, have as much information as I can. So there's free tools, Sonar from Celix is a free tool. Helium 10 is a free tool that you can use, a little limited, and then just also I use some also, off Amazon keyword research too. So like SEMrush is one that I'll use just because while it's maybe not specific to Amazon, you're going to be able to kind of find out what those keywords are. Merchant keywords, of course, is a good one too if you're looking for a paid tool. And then just going on Amazon too, typing in, seeing what their predictive search is going to give you, going through, other competitors and seeing what keywords they're using, a little bit of a manual approach, but you can certainly come up with good information. Plus, if you're running sponsored product ads already, that's a great place to get the keywords, because whether it's automatic or manual, pulling that search term report and seeing, okay, these are good keywords for a conversion basis. I'm selling these very well. Well, those are the ones you want to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think two more burning questions now as somebody starts doing those sponsored brand ads. How do we optimize it? And the next thing was, what sort of ACoS? I think that's something. It's a very common question. People, what sort of ACoS I should expect from sponsored brand ad?
Well, and the ACoS is, anytime I run them, compared to the sponsored product ads for the same customer, the ACoS is always a little bit higher for me
Yeah.
when I'm running the sponsored brand ads. But I expect that because to me, it's more of the awareness, more of the top funnel that I'm trying to target versus the specific searchers where it's a click and then it's a purchase right away.
Mhm.
With sponsored brand ads, a lot of times I'm either taking them to an Amazon store or,
Yeah.
just all my product listings. Sometimes they'll click the actual 3 products that you have listed on there, but not all
Mhm.
the time because they don't even show for mobile. So when I'm doing that, I expect to get more window shoppers, clicks for that. You try to optimize, to, go for the purchases, but ACoS is usually a little bit higher. In terms of an average ACoS though, I try not to work off of overall industry ACoS averages. I try to
Okay.
work specifically with, the client based on their goals, because sometimes we do work with people where the goal is really just sales velocity and
Okay.
overall brand awareness. So the ACoS is, I'm not trying to have a super low ACoS. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get as many sales as possible. Well, in
Okay.
that case, we can be a little bit more aggressive, bid a little bit higher.
Mhm.
Other times, we're working with brands that want a very low ACoS. And
Yeah.
then, we're a little bit more restrictive. We're tying it in. So the
Mhm.
averages I work off of are less overall averages, but more what's your break even ACoS, right? Let's figure that out. What can't you dip below,
Yeah.
or dip above, I mean, and actually, still make money. You're going to lose money if the ACoS is too high for that. And then
Mhm.
we work off of goals and targets. And a lot of that comes up based off of what we're finding for the campaign month in and month out, and just constant improvement, constant optimization, keep making them better and better
Mhm.
versus just an overall industry ACoS average. And maybe that's just because that's how my mind works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of trying to target the industry itself, I think you can kind of get some decent baseline metrics for it, but
Mhm.
always about trying to improve month in and month out.
Yeah, yeah, no, excellent. So I think with I like the idea of the goals. I think as long as you set up goals, that means you've got expectation well in advance in terms of what
Mm-hmm.
ACoS you may achieve, rather than going down the line. Oh, I've got 50 or 60 ACoS. It's not working well. So I think it's a good way of working. Tell us, there is a one metrics called NTB, new to brand. Tell us a little bit more about that, please, Stephen.
Yeah, so new to brand is great because you're getting when you're running that report, you're able to see who is, well, just like it says, new to brand, new to your brand affinity. There's not, they didn't have any sort of pre-purchase of your type of brand, anything else. You can basically, the idea of the metric is to point and say, this person only knows about you and only purchased from you because of this ad. They are
Yeah,
new to you. And that's
yeah,
good because if it's a returning customer, for example, did you need the ad? Were they searching for you? Were they going to buy you anyways because they already had that brand
yeah,
loyalty?
yeah.
Versus new to brand saying, this person most likely would not have made a purchase of your product unless you're running this ad. So that really helps to,
Mhm.
count the overall effectiveness of it.
Yeah. So, and is there? Sorry, I'm just digging out the numbers again. So, is there any percentage of new to brands that you think is better, like 80%, 90%? What sort of
I
figure?
don't have a specific number for that. I've seen it. A lot
Yeah,
of it comes down to brand. How big is the brand? If
yeah,
you are the well-known brand in that industry, you're probably not going to have a very high new to brand on any of your ads, but that's because you are the main brand. Everybody else is trying to take your market share from it. Whereas otherwise, if you're brand new, you just got a private label set up, and now you're going through and selling it that way. Well, you should have a very high percentage. We
Mhm.
run kind of across the gamut a different types of customers like that.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything that I could point to and have a specific number that I think would be, worthwhile for you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's very much brand specific, and what your goals are again,
Yeah,
going
and
back to.
also, how much are you going in on the sponsored brand ads as well when you're doing that? Because sometimes they're the second thought, and it's I've got customers that just don't want to run them. Quite frankly, they don't
Mhm.
see the value in it, don't want to. They just want to stick to sponsored product ads.
Yeah, yeah,
And sometimes, given a budget, if you don't have much of a budget, you can't play around with as many things. You have to go towards the ads are going to produce the highest, return with the lowest ACoS. And,
Yeah.
sometimes that's generally going to be the sponsored product ads. But, everything else considered, we certainly highly recommend the sponsored brand ads because they do also have an impact on your sponsored product ads. You're seeing the searcher is seeing your products more. They're seeing it on, above the fold. They're seeing it on the sponsored brand ads. Then they're seeing it inside of the actual search results if you're running sponsored product ads or if you have an organic listing there too. And just the more that they see you, just all of a sudden they're going to be more likely to click on at least one of those.
Yeah. And also it may be that there is a higher impact on the mobile device.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing that I don't think there's always one thing you have to consider because, we talked about how you could choose that main image and a lot of brands will choose their logo for that main image.
Yeah.
But when you look at what shows on mobile, you don't see those three products for the sponsored brand ads. On mobile, you just see that main image and then you see the headline.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a recognizable logo, that's not doing anything for you. That you're essentially wasting that real estate because people just scroll right past the logo that they don't recognize. And then maybe they read the headline, but if they don't see the products, they don't even know that you're offering what they're searching. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll actually have a product shot of some sort instead of the logo. So that way, we're actually showcasing that, this is what you're searching for. You can click on this. This is what you're searching for. And, you can find what you want here.
Okay, excellent. So I think you've given us lots of tips today for sponsored brand ads. So, thank you very much, Evan, for that. And for everyone, go away and start trying that. Like Evan said, put a budget in, give it a go, and see whether that works. So, if somebody is to get in touch with you and want to find you, where's the best place to find you, Evan?
LinkedIn is probably going to be the best place for that. Thankfully, I have a unique name, so I should be able to be found. If you type in Evan Fasinger, I don't think there'll be too many others that come up. Also on Twitter, and of course, you can always email me too. It's just efasinger@foremostmedia.com.
Okay, excellent. So look, we'll be catching up soon, and we'll pick up another topic, and it'll be good to have another chat again soon. All right.
That sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye for now.